Hello, good morning. I'm discussing about introduction of schedule, more explanation, and meaning, definition, and advantage and disadvantage of the schedule in research. First of all, introduction of schedule. Uh, schedule is nothing. It is only a list of questions which it seems necessary to test the hypothesis. Schedule is only list of questions necessary to test hypothesis. Schedule is structured set of questions on given topic, which is asked by the interviewer, investigated personally. Schedule is most important tool, uh, which is similar to questionnaire. Schedule is administered by researcher in person and filled by the researcher. As the schedule is presented in a person, it need not be attractive. The techniques of preparing questionnaire are also applied to framing and interview schedule. In case of definition of schedule, schedule is a set of questions which is filled in by the investigator who is made responsible to collect information. Schedule is set of questions by investigator to collect information from respondents. The investigator appeals to the respondent and record the response of the respondent. In some cases, respondents is encouraged to record the answers to the question with the help of investigator. Generally, investigator record the respondents' response. Respondents also can record response with the help of investigator. Investigator must have competency for cross-examination if necessary. Investor personal qualities like honest, hard work will improve the quality of work. Investor personal qualities like honest, hard work will improve the quality of the work. It is very expensive, still normally adopted by state and large organization. Census survey is conducted by this method. Meaning of schedule. Schedule is the presented by the interviewer. The questions are asked and the answers are noted by him. The list of questions is a more formal document, and it need not be attractive. The list of questions is a more formal document, no necessity for attractive. The schedule can be used in a very narrow sphere of the social research. Purpose of schedule. The main purpose of schedule is threefold. First, to provide a standard tool for observation or interview in order to obtain objectivity. Second, it acts as memory ticker. First, standardized tool. Second, memory ticker. That is, it means the schedule keeps the memory of the interviewer observer refreshed and keeps him remind of the different aspects that are to be particularly observed. Third purpose is to facilitate the whole of tabulation and analysis. First, standardized tool. memory trigger to facilitate the work of tabulation and analysis. Types of schedule. First of all, rating schedule. In the, in the field of business guidance, psychological research, and social research, the rating schedule are used to assess the attitude, opinions, preference, inhibitors, and other like elements. As evident from the term rating in this schedule, the value and trend of the above mentioned quality is measured. Document schedule. The schedules of this type are used to obtain data regarding written evidence and case studies. In this schedule, two terms are included occur frequency in documents and are the generally found in the case studies. Document schedule regarding written evidence and case studies. Written evidence and case studies, and also frequency in documents, which is generally found in case studies. Institutional survey forms or evolutional schedule. The use of this schedule as evident from the name is made to gather the data about the specialized institution or agencies. The form and the size of the evolutional schedule is determined by the nature and the complexity of the problems of institution. More complex the problem, bigger the size of the schedule. Observation schedule. In this schedule, observer records the activities of response of an individual or a group under specific conditions. The observation schedules may need one or more research workers to be completed. The main purpose of an observation schedules is to verify some informations. Interview schedules. It is the fifth and schedule and sometimes treated independently. The other times considered individual in the previous type is previous is observation schedule, rating schedule, interview schedule, institutional schedule. In the interview schedule, an interviewer presents the questions of the schedule to the interviewers and records their response on the blank. Steps in the framing of schedule. Study the different aspects of problems. The problem under the study should first afford the split of into various aspects. The determination of these aspects will depend on the clear understanding of the problem under study. Second, subdivide the problem into the necessary information. Each aspect has again to be broken up into a number of subparts. These subparts should be quite exhaustive, that is testing all possibilities to give all possibilities, also all elements, to give a full and complete picture of the aspects under the study. The framing of actual questions, care should be taken to see that the questions convey the exact sense are easily flawed by the response and they will willing to supply information without any hesitation, bias, or distortion of facts. The framing of actual questions should be willing to supply information without any hesitation, bias, or distortion fact. Serialization of questions. In order to obtain well-organized information, it will necessitate that questions should be presented as one as well ordered serial. It has been experienced in a various field studies that been changed in the order of question affects answered adversely and testing the validity. Whatever may be degree of the precaution taken, some slips are bound to left out and cannot be located unless the schedule has been put into operation. How to schedule works? A rather expensive matter as the enumerator uh, do not come cheap or resource scholar expense often run high. Schedules are filled by the enumerators, researchers who can also interpret the questions if necessary. Needless to say, the identity of the respondents is known. Information collection is both assured that is confident and punctual. Questionnaires are schedules are flexible in that they can measure, although there is half. Scheduling tool, a tool which supports the scheduling method, identify components names, providing the components definition, contain components relationship that is used to generate the project-specific schedule model. For example, Primavera, Yames project, Artemis, Welcome, Spider. Advantage of schedule, uh, economical. Economical advantage, since the questions approach makes it possible to come at the same time, the large number of people spread over the large territory, it is decidedly more economical in terms of money, time, energy. Other methods do not afford such facility. Schedule method is the economical in terms of money, time, and energy. Time saving, besides saving the money, the mail schedule also save time. Simultaneously, hundreds of persons are approached through the aid, whereas they are to be interviewed. It may take a long time. Suitable in special type of response, the information about the certain problems can be best obtained through the questionnaire method. For example, the research about sexual habits, marital relation, dreams, etc. can be easily obtained by keeping the name of respondents anonymous, that is hidden. As the respondents are not required to indicate their names on the questionnaire, they feel free to express their views and opinions. Anonymity is a meaningful characteristic of questionnaire method. In view of its anonymity, the questionnaire is more effective than an interview. Less pressure on the respondents. The method places less pressure on the subject for immediate response and give more time to the respondents or property answering questions. Uniformity, the questions are by its the very nature is the impersonal technique. Uniformity from one measurement situation to another is provided by virtue of its standardized wordings of questions, standardized sequence of questions, and fixed or standardized instruction for the recording response. The uniformity is provided by virtue of standardized wording of questions, sequence of questions, and fixed or standardized instruction. Uh, Instruction also fixed. And wording questions, sequence are standardized. Also, some disadvantage of schedule, illiterate and less educated. One of the major limitations of questionnaire is that can be administered only on subjects with a considerable amount of education. Complex questionnaire requiring elaborate written replies can be used indeed on a very small percentage of population. Proportion of returns is usually low. In a mail questionnaire, the proportion of returns is usually low. It may sometimes be as low as the 10%. Misinterprets unintelligible reply. In a questionnaire, if a respondent misinterprets a questions or writes his reply on intangibility, there is very little that can be done to correct this. In this approach, there is no facility for the repeating questions, explaining them, or seeking clarification of a particular response. There are some difference between schedule and questionnaire. Schedule is filled by the investigator. A questionnaire filled by respondents. Schedule is more expensive. Questionnaire is less expensive. Schedule is the low non-response. Questionnaire high non-response. Schedule identity of respondents known. A questionnaire identity of respondents is not clear. Schedule process is the fast, is the information collected and filled by investigator, but questionnaire process is the slow, as the respondent do not return questionnaire immediately. In schedule, information is the collected from the illiterate respondents, useful only where the respondent is cooperative and literate. Coverage is the restricted to visit investigator. But in case of the questionnaire, wide coverage investigation is the possible. More accurate information can be collected, risk of collecting wrong information from the questionnaire. Success related to honesty and competence of the investigator in the schedule, but success of the method relates to the quality of the questionnaire. Physical appearance will not affect the response in the schedule, but good physical appearance will have better response in the questionnaire. Information can be collected from the illiterate also, but questionnaire can be used only when respondents is educated and cooperative. Sample area should not be wider. Wider distribution of the sample is possible. Relativity, more complete and correct information, incomplete and wrong information, more. Thanks for your passion and thanks for your watching. See you. Bye-bye.